Alright, yins guys, what's up? I'm going to show you another trick today. I should have showed you it a long time ago, but this is a better idea that I came up with. This is something that I admit I haven't been doing. I just got this idea just now. But it's based on another idea that I meant to tell you, that I never got around to telling you because there's so many things in these videos. But about if you want to do the fist push-ups on a plank, or on something, if you have trouble with the balance, you can use put a roll of pennies in each hand. But if instead of a roll of pennies, you can use these two ball peen hammers as your spacing. Lay them on the plank, down like this. You're going to have them like this, laying down on your plank or your floor or whatever you want to use. And make sure there's no furniture in the way. And what we're going to do is grip it. Not all the way over here. You can if you want to, but grip it over here because we're going to do the four fist first, these two knuckles. And you're going to grab each end like that, just enough so you'd have it in the fist. Then I'm going to get up here. Then when you have your grip going on, and you have your grip going pretty good here, just right there, give it a little bit of a squeeze and get in your comfortable position, and there you go. You're going to be standing like this. But I don't have the other thing in the camera right here. Hold on. There we go. Like that. And see, you're going to be standing like this. You notice it's going to be easier to stand. Your wrist won't shake as much, but you can feel it in your forearms. Those tendons will get straightened out better. Then you can eventually even do it without any help. But this would help you out if you wanted to try some of the things in my videos, but then say any of you guys did try anything in these videos and you gave up. This is going to make it a hell of a lot easier. See, it's easier to even stand. It's easier for me to talk to. But you're going to feel it in the tendons because it's going to straighten them out, but this is going to help you out a lot. And you notice in the camera too, my knuckles, these two, it's somewhat straight, but my hands are somewhat crooked no matter which way you're facing. Then you'd be able to go down and up pretty easy. And try to hold it for a while. Oh, and another reason for this. Take a look at this. You're going to see. Let me turn this light on this camera here so you can see this. Hopefully it doesn't glare too much. See the glare of the light. You're going to see some indentations in the knuckles where it's closer to where it's supposed to be. So you're going to be hardening up the knuckles a bit. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't want to get too out of breath and not talk right, but so I'm not doing this video over again. For some reason, the right hand, it don't get the indentations. You can see it a little bit, but even if you looked at a lot of my other videos, you'll see the marks on the knuckles always on the left hand more than the right, darker. But you'll see that indentations going on there. A little bit of. Think if I have too much light here, but see if you do this on your own, you're going to see it on your own fists. Put it that way. You're gonna see it on your own fists. Then now if I wanted to do these two, because I like to use these other two too. And you may want to turn the handle, turn the hammers a little bit this way, or for this a little bit like a triangular angle. And to do the other knuckles, you can grab the hammer all the way over here. You're going to want to. But you can grab it that other way too. But grab it all the way inward like this. Especially these other two knuckles, because a lot of you guys that never done this before, you're going to, those knuckles are a little bit more soft and flexible, and they can break easier if you haven't been doing this already, and this is a good way to condition them. Grab onto this, the hammers like this, or some reason the heads of the hammers kind of give you some counterweight. But say you want to strengthen these knuckles, you know what I mean, so they don't get broke, and then you want to do the Russian hammer fist like that Mikhail Roboko guy does. And yeah, that does work. If you strengthen these knuckles pretty good bit, you'd be able to beat on something, a doorway, and you'd be able to make the sound. Just knock on some hardwood or a side of a door frame. But same way like this, you can just sit there, and you could come down all the way and just even stay there and stretch that chest out, and then come back up. I don't want to bore you with that too much, because I do this one-handed, with those two knuckles and the other two. But the same thing. I'm not going to do, I can do another set right now. Well, anyway, I'll just crank out a few anyway real quick just to show you I'm not bluffing, but here. Same principle. But you want to be a little bit careful, but this will help you out, because these hammers kind of can be a counterweight. What you're doing is, if you want to use a roll of pennies or a couple pieces of wooden dowel rod that are a little bit like thick as this piece of wooden dowel rod, or a piece of cold rolled bar, or hell, if you wanted to use your little curling bars for your barbells, whether it's the solid metal like spin lock barbells, just use absolutely no weights and just go like that and use your fists that way. But I recommend the hammers, because you're getting that spacing and the hammers are acting like counterweights. And I figured I better make a video like this right now, is because if you're a slender person, and like I said before, if any of you guys tried what I was doing in my videos and say you gave up, this makes it like tons easier. So if any of you guys watching that may have, because I know I got a lot of views on the videos, any of you guys watching that tried this and maybe gave up, you might want to go run to do this one. That you might actually want to go run and get yourself a couple hammers and try this one out, because it'll make it easier. But I do admit that you may have to deal with the pain a little bit if you're not used to it yet, but it will be less painful, and maybe you won't have that wrist shaking going on when you do the without anything, you know what I mean? You're going to have that trouble with your wrist shaking. And then, like, right away, I'm not even able to do the one-handed like this. Oops, I didn't actually show you right here. I use these to do the one-handed. Try to get it in. yeah, you get the basic idea. I got videos where I do more of them one-handed, but as you can see, I kind of max myself out a little bit, cranking out a bunch of these other ones in the beginning. But usually to do the one-handed, you got to give yourself a little bit more rest. Yeah, I was once working in a place and preaching the certain principles in the lunchroom at this place I was actually working, because we getting on the subjects and they didn't believe me, and one guy was like, damn. Because what I'm saying is, like, you don't got to be some black belt martial artist or whatever. You could eventually be, but my thinking is, everybody watches Chuck Norris on TV and watches the videos on all these other black belts and all that, and maybe they think about taking up something, but it looks to most people like something on TV that know people like us cannot achieve anything. And like what little I do here is, like, people have the tendency to think the littlest things are inachievable, and I kind of think we're going backwards to a point where some people actually want a handicap or general. And what I'm trying to say is, what you see here is achievable to a certain extent. Imagine if you went and took up something and go to some karate studio, and you can, I do this for physical fitness too, but maybe you feel like trying some stuff at home so you won't be so intimidated when you go to a gym, karate studio, or boxing club or whatever. You know what I mean? It'll be, or say you're already into it and you want to make yourself a little bit so you're not intimidated by everybody else. I was like that when I was in my teens. I went to this gym once, and I actually quit going. Everybody else, you never do. Certain kind of gyms you may have, you want to find a gym to go to. You might have one where everybody else is, whatever they're taking, they got these big-ass arms and everything, and you're the only one that looks like an average Joe. So you may want to actually pick a gym where you got some big guys and you got some people that are close to around like you anyway too. But I don't want to jibber jabber too much. You got the basic idea that every little bit of thing you do is achievable, and it's if you just gotta find a way to do it, create a prerequisite exercise. If you cannot do a thing, there's always some kind of prerequisite preparatory exercise that you can work your way up. And oh yeah, just before I end this video, I wanted to do another example real quick too. Show you real quick. Have an item around here somewhere that I can use, but anyway, show this camera real quick. I'll just use this. This is a good enough example right now. I actually use a can. I actually use maybe a big giant can or a block or something, but I'm just going to do this for example. So you wanted to get ready for the one-handed push-ups, and put one hand higher than the other, and then you rest on something. I'm just using this for now. Don't you guys... I can already do these, so don't you guys go use a cup. You might crush it and kill yourself, but I just want to give you the basic idea. Anything you can find. I wasn't even going to show you this in this video. I was going to do it in another video, and all my other things that I wanted to use, I don't know where they're at, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. I might do another video and to specialize in this later on, but just for example, one hand up like this, and to reduce the stress, and then it's usually going to be up kind of like this, and you're going to go up and down, and it's and then eventually, when you're brave enough, you can do the one-handed push-up right on without doing it on anything, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to give you the basic motions. But even with the one hand high, like, yeah, this is a pretty good, see, this isn't a good enough example, really. I should have my hand higher, but see, when you do it two-handed, I'm using this, and still it's a little higher off. The one hand is a little higher off the ground than another, and even this way, with this small item I'm using, this cup here, it makes it easier and way less stress on the one arm. It's easier than doing an all-out one-handed push-up. There's less stress there, but I'm just giving you a basic idea. I'm going to create a video real quick and I'm going to run in there and maybe get one of my big old cans of applesauce, green beans or peas or peaches or whatever, you know, the big old cans, or even get a gallon paint can, you know. But I got stuff like that in my food stock, because I have like also another thing I preach too, you know, maybe the end of the world ain't coming yet or anything, but even if you get unemployed, you know, have a stockpile of food in your thing and rotate the stock. But anyway, while you're at it, you can use one of them cans, the big old cans, to go up for the one-handed push-up. You know, put one hand on the can, or even use a block, and the other arm doing, but you're using both hands. You get the basic idea. I don't want to yammer on too much, but yeah. If you've watched cartoons once in a while, get yourself a best friend plank. I wasn't going to put the rest of that footage in there, but right while I'm at it, I figured I'd give you a couple of ideas, you know, and go ahead with it. And well, this video's already like almost 18 minutes already, so I'm going to end this video right here and try it out. You can see how well it works for me, you know, less stress on the wrists anyway. And go try it. This will make it easier for you. Like I said a couple of times in this video already, repeatedly, Indians, guys that have tried this and given up, this will make it easier and give your balance anyway. You can see right here and now it was road tested, guaranteed to work. Try it out. And that's it for now. See you next time.